I'm Amy and this is A-Star Reads, and it's time for my next HRCYED vlog because I'm trying to get at least one bingo before July 6th comes around, because that's when HRCYED is technically 2.0 is technically over. And HRCYED was created by Stephanie from the channel QWERTY, and I will link her information in the description box below, as well as the information for HRCYED 3.0, which is starting on July 7th. So this hardest reading challenge you'll ever do was intended, of course, to be the hardest reading challenge, and you have so many things you have to do. But I'm just trying to complete something in 2.0 because I clearly didn't make it past my slump this February and March. So if I can get at least one bingo, I'm going to be a happy camper. I wanted to get two, but the way things are going this month and some of the books I have to read, it's not looking that way. So right now I'm actually reading two books, well, technically three. Two of them aren't on HRCYED at all, but I have to get them done because they're both for book clubs. One's for Bookstar Reads, which is the read-along group that I co-host with Danielle from Bookara and Paige from Pages with Paige, and I will link the information for that down below because we're just starting a new series. We're just starting the Beartown series. Is that the name of the series? I'm not sure. But we're just starting Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I am over 50% of the way through this one. I started it in the last vlog, and I'll be finishing it hopefully in a few days, because I'm making really good progress in this one, and it's extremely sad. It's so depressing, but it's written beautifully. Frederick Bachman is such an amazing writer. The other book I'm currently reading is Cast by Isabel Wilkerson, because this is the book I'm reading for my in-person book club, the one I have with some friends here where I live. And I have been putting this book off for so long. It's been on my TBR for a while, and like in my immediate TBR for a while, and I just haven't been able to get around to it. And I'm reading 25 pages a day for that one so that I get it done by the time we have our next meeting. And of course, the writing is impeccable, which is what I expected from Isabel Wilkerson. The anecdotes, the analogies, there's so many literary tools she likes to use to get her ideas across and to engage her reader, especially when it comes to being a nonfiction book. And it's so well done, and it's also extremely depressing. I'm reading two very important and very difficult books. So I also started When I Was Death by Alexis Henderson the other night. I haven't been able to chance to get back to it, but this is one of my HRCYED books. This is my new release for March, I think this was the new release for March 2026. And this one is a YA story about, I guess, when this main character is death, like the actual character of death. I don't know. So far, I've only read one chapter, and it was about her meeting these young girls that either moved into the town she's living in or came into the town and were kind of inviting her to come and spend some time with them. So far, I felt like the descriptions and whatnot, the characters felt very atmospheric in a lot of ways, felt very Alexis Henderson in the way that she likes to lean a little into the dark side when it comes to her characters, even though they're YA. And I don't really know anything else about the story itself yet, though, so I will give you an update on that when I actually know more. I'm currently on my way to work. I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted. Yesterday, we went on the sailboat, which was wonderful. And that's because we're working on our connection with one of the community partners we have. And we hadn't actually ever gone out to see what kind of things they do. And they're a boating center. So obviously, sailing is one of the things they do. And it was lovely. It was so much fun. I got to skip our boat. How can I complain when my job includes something like that in it, except that every other part of it is exhausting. It's so exhausting. So I'm tired today. I have a lot to do, but it feels like every day there's a lot to do. And so I'm hoping that I'll get some things accomplished. And I won't have a ton of meetings today, which is nice because yesterday, the second we got back from that amazing sailing trip, we had a meeting. So I feel like I've been in a lot of meetings lately, but today I don't think there are any meetings. So I got off work early today. It's Friday because I worked so many other hours the rest of the week. But I am happy to be home. I'm exhausted and I'm going to relax. I have sprints tonight. I'm going to get to reading because I have a lot of reading I need to do to catch up because the last couple of days I did a little teeny bit of reading, but I didn't do nearly enough. So I'm behind on my books, but I'm going to get caught up hopefully today. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so we had reading sprints last night, and I didn't make as much progress as I would have liked. I was distracted. I had a good time spending the evening with my friends, though. I feel like I vented a lot, but at least I have a safe space with good friends. I did get a little bit of reading done, but I was supposed to get this done yesterday, technically, with my schedule that I've laid out for myself, and I didn't. So I'm going to be working on this, trying to get it done today. And I didn't get a chance to read Cast at all yesterday. I don't have any plans for today, which is actually good because there's stuff that needs to get done around the house, and I want to do like little things here and there. Maybe we'll take the dogs for a walk because we're babysitting Marley, doggy sitting Marley. And Cece likes to go for walks, so maybe we'll do that today. So just kind of keep it easy, keep it here, local, not going to do anything too crazy. But that sounds exactly like what I would like today. Because tomorrow we have a big birthday party happening for 3 family members. So just focus on today. I picked some daisies so I can make a bouquet. Okay, so I have finished Beartown. I've been spending the majority of today actually reading it because I am one day behind on my reading and I'm trying to stay on my schedule. So this needed to be done yesterday, but I got it done today and it was 5 stars. It was so, so good. I think this is a complete book in its own right. I know this is the first book in a series of 3 and I'm excited to see what happens in the next couple of books and which characters we get to spend more time with, because I really do end up loving the characters in this book and just, I don't want to say you end up loving the town because there's so many issues. It's so flawed, but there is hope at the end of this. And it does make you cry. It does make you feel very strongly. And the commentary in this is very appropriate, even though this is set in Sweden? Isn't he Swedish? Even though this is set in Sweden, it's very similar to sports culture, male-dominated culture that we see here in the US, and a lot of the issues we see within men with power and how women are treated. So I love conversations like this. It is a heartbreaking book and it has some really difficult parts in it. So go into it looking for trigger warnings, but then also knowing that it's not a happy book. It's a very, very sad book, but I feel like it's a very important story. And Fredrik Backman is incredible in the way he builds his commentary and the way he can give you perspective from all angles, which I think is essential because in reality, nothing is black and white. Everything is complicated because people are people and people have loyalty towards other people for various reasons. And I'm not saying that you'll go into this being like, oh, well, maybe this or that was right. You'll go into this knowing that nothing is easy. And I think that that is the important point, that there are so many stories that are intertwined together, and that makes situations challenging, and challenging for some people to have a definitive answer that makes them out to be a good person. And so I just think that's incredibly clever. I think his writing is very clever, and the way he shows people, characters, is impeccable. He is a character-driven author, and there are very few authors, honestly, that I think handle characters as well as he does. So I am excited about the next one, and I can't wait to read it for Bookstara. So I don't know if I said it. Did I already say that I'm giving this 5 stars? Because I'm giving it 5 stars. It was that good. And if you want to know more about my thoughts, including spoilery thoughts, we're going to be having our live show discussion in a week or so, and I will link the video up here when I get a chance to, or put it down in the description box below once we actually have it. And join Bookstara read-alongs, because we'd love to have you as part of our read-along group. birthday celebration this afternoon, and it was a lot of fun. We had a blast. Everybody got together and we sang a lot of karaoke. We ate some really good food and just spent time with family, which was lovely. So we were celebrating 3 birthdays in one day, and that actually worked out quite well. It was lovely. But when we got home, Mom instantly fell asleep and I started reading my book because I'm tired. I probably should do some stuff. The house could definitely use some doing of stuff, but I'm so tired. And so I just felt like reading. And so I'm currently reading When I Was Death. I have set myself only a few days to read this book, and luckily it's reading fast. I'm right here right now, but I had only read like 20 pages as of this morning. Or was it last night? I can't remember, but I'm reading pretty quickly, so that's good. Because ideally, since I'm a little behind in my reading, I should be here by the end of today. Still not caught up on my nonfiction reading for Cast, but can only do what I can do. And I have been reading a little bit of that every day, so I may not be getting to all my reading, but at least I'm doing it. And I'm loving it. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving it, but it's heavy. It's heavy, so I've needed a little bit of a break from heaviness because Beartown was also heavy. So I thought this would be a little less heavy, but of course it's not. It's about grief and dying and death. And the only thing that's saving it from being too heavy is that it's a YA. And it's a bit gritty, the way Alexis Henderson can be. I wasn't sure how I was feeling about it at first, but I'm now into it and I can keep reading it. And I didn't want to DNF it because this is a March release for HRCYED, and it's not a very long book. I won this one. I won this one from a Goodreads giveaway, which was really fun. If this had been one of the books in my, which I need to get back to this, reading my first 20 to 30 pages and ranking it. If I had just read the first 20 to 30 pages, I don't think this would have been rated high enough for me to want to continue. But because this is for HRCYED, and I don't want to have to go out and find another March new release, I am going to get through this one. This is about a girl named Rosalind, and she lost her sister. Her sister died in this horrendous way, and she doesn't understand why this happened. She is feeling so much grief that she is not getting along with her life. Her parents, of course, are both in grief, but she is not thriving at all. She's suffering big time. A lot of the struggle is because even though she knows her sister died and there's evidence there that it happened, her sister's body, she doesn't know why or how. The actual autopsy was inconclusive. And so that not knowing is really keeping her in her grief. And she comes across this group of girls. They bring her into this fold where they are basically working for death. And there's a reason why they're working for death, and you find out about that in the story. But I think it's okay to say that they're working for death. She feels like if she does also, if she helps death with killing people who are supposed to die, it's not like he's just randomly killing, it's people who are supposed to die, she feels like she will hopefully find out more information about her sister. It says, it takes a certain kind of girl to stomach the work of death. And maybe Rosalind's that certain kind of girl. So we'll see if she gets any answers and finds out what she's hoping to find out. I do love how gritty Alexis Henderson's writing is. I feel like her characters are more mature than they probably should be for the age that they're at. And that is maybe one of my struggles because it's a YA and I'm like, these girls should not be... Don't get me wrong. I know teenagers can have a lot of grittiness in their life. I'm not completely innocent. I know what that can look like. I just am sad when that happens. I would like them to be able to be children and just to enjoy their childhood, but I know that that's not realistic. And so there is definitely a perspective here that feels a little older than I would like to see for young adults. But I still am enjoying Alexis Henderson's writing, and I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I don't know how much I love the plot or the story. Alexis Henderson does have really enjoyable writing, and so I'm just going to keep continuing on and see how far I get today. Hopefully I can make it to where I need to be. Okay, so today's the first day of summer program for the kids, and I got a lot of work to do. I was hoping to get a lot more sleep last night, but then I've been falling down a couple of BTS rabbit holes and stayed awake later than I wanted to. But I do want to say that I made it pretty far. The first one, look at the top thing. That's how far I'm at currently, and the second little bookmark is where I need to be by the end of today. And I'm 3/4 of the way through this one, so I'm getting through it very, very quickly. I didn't think I was going to be able to read all the pages I needed to read for yesterday to get caught up on my reading for this book. But I did, and I read it even a little bit more. So I'm doing really well on getting this one done. This is for her kids. So I feel like, okay, I'm back to, I think I have to read just one more for her kid and I get a bingo. And at this point, that's my goal. So that's pretty darn exciting. But today's gonna be a busy day. And my little cousins are going to summer program. And they're not gonna go every single day, but I hope they at least enjoy it and they don't hate it. We'll see. But now I gotta get ready so I can go pick them up. Okay, so I finished When I Was Death. I'm currently watching sprints with Danielle and Leanna, and I don't know what to rate this one yet. It's not going to be a super high rating. It wasn't terrible. I was able to get through it, I'd say fairly quickly, but the last couple of days I've been I just haven't been able to read much. But that's not because of the book. That's because I just haven't been, I've been exhausted. And, work does take a lot out of me sometimes. So now that I'm ready to read, I got this finished, and it was a strange one. And I'm finding that there's a lot of elements of Alexis Henderson's writing style that I like, but then there are ways that she creates characters and deals with emotions and feelings and stuff that sometimes sometimes these characters feel rather toxic. And I'm sure that that's partially the intention. It makes it hard sometimes to then really like the characters though, because they are fairly toxic. I don't know that they always have a resolution in the end that feels healthy to me. So I don't know, I gotta think about this one. I'll give you a rating later when I've had a chance to work on it. But I am gonna start my final HRCYED book, because I want to get at least one bingo, and to do that I have to read, was it a May release? I think so. I think this was the April 2026 new release, and I think this is a May 2026 new release. This is Mad Mabel by Sally Hepworth. It's about, well, I'll tell you what it's about after I start reading it and get an idea, get a handle for it. But I've never read anything by Sally Hepworth, and I'm looking forward to it because she is a well-loved author, and this one sounded interesting to me. That's why I picked it up. It says sanity is subjective. So I've been reading books with a lot of interesting characters lately. So this sounds like it's going to have an interesting character as well. Okay, I'll let you know my thoughts once I've gotten into it a little bit. Okay, so I have decided that I am going to end this video after giving you a brief update because I've got a plan I want to do for this 3-day weekend that's here now, because it's currently the 4th of July weekend. Today's 3rd. I have today off of work, and I have a little plan for another vlog, which will include a HRCYED book, but I want to do a little bit of a challenge. So I am going to tell you that I think I'm going to give this a 3.5 stars. I think there were a lot of aspects of it that I enjoyed, but then there were aspects of it that took away from that enjoyment. And it has a lot to do with how gray Alexis Henderson likes her characters to be. And I love gray characters, but sometimes I feel like her gray characters remain unlikable. I didn't quite grow into them the way I was hoping to. I thought this was a very interesting premise. There were times when it felt a little odd, but odd is what Alexis Henderson does well, so I don't mind that. I just didn't always love the direction her ideas went in with this one. So sometimes good, sometimes not quite as good. A couple times great. The writing style that Alexis Henderson has is quite vivid. The descriptions can be really unique and evoke a lot of your senses. I feel like there's a lot new to what she's doing sometimes when it comes to how she sets a scene. And so I really enjoy that. So yeah, overall, I will continue reading from this author because I still want a second book to Year of the Witching, and I still feel that there are areas of this author's writing that I absolutely love, but sometimes the ideas and the characters are just a little off for me, and that is probably going to be different for everybody. So ultimately 3.5 stars though, that's still a good rating from me. I did enjoy my time reading this, and I will, like I said, continue reading from this author. So now let me pull up my computer. Starting now, I have my bingo board, and I have honestly given up on this top line here because my by the hundreds are not going to happen. I'm not going to get a 700-page book done and a 600-page book done, but I still have the chance to get one bingo, with 24-hour readathon being the top, 1, which I've completed. Last 10 years I've completed. Around the World having been completed, as you already saw. And then complete an readathon, which I did. So finally it's extended new releases. And for this one, I still have 2, March and April. March I've completed with When I Was Death, Henderson. So that's March done. I can take that off of here. And that means I only have April left, which, as I mentioned before, is going to be Mad Mabel by Sally Hepworth. But you won't hear my review about this until the next vlog. So let me know in the comment section down below if you're working on HRCYED 3.0 right now and what you're currently working on if you are. I'm excited because I have a game plan for that, which I will be starting very soon once I get these books done. But I'm also excited about completing 2.0 in some capacity. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe so you can see what happens in the next video. My final HRCYED 2.0 vlog. This one is guaranteed to be my final 2.0 HRCYED vlog. And I will see you later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.